Yo, and welcome back to Creeps and Crimes
Podcast.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Morgan. Happy Thursday and happy episode 197.
197.
You know, I almost really just went in with a hard yo, and I was like, that's not my part.
I saw you take a breath, and I was like,
yeah.
Whoa.
You're like, wait, what's going on?
I was like, wait, maybe she needed to say something, but I was like, fuck it, we'll just keep going, we'll figure it out. Yeah. Oh my God, wait, happy 4-year anniversary to me and Logan.
It is
today when this comes out. Look at that.
You're spending it at a wedding, right?
Yeah, I'm literally gonna be at a wedding. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, well, I'll be at the wedding in 2 days from now, but I'm basically already down there doing all the wedding festivities.
Yeah, well, I hope you guys take some time for yourself.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna hang out in Boca with.
You're not going to Disney?
Nikki for a little bit. No.
Oh, no. Good. I'm glad you get to see her.
We're gonna go hang out down there for a little bit, and then there's a big party on the 4th. So
very fun.
Very fun.
I know. I'm like, I guess I'll go down to Tanya's. Yeah. What else am I supposed to do?
What are you gonna do?
I got no plans.
I know.
Open it up, Tanya. Here I come.
This is like what sucks about having an anniversary on a holiday like this is like there's always something really big planned, you know, and so we're always having to go something really big. Yeah. But like in the future, it'll be great because whenever, you know, like we have kids and shit, we'll go on a little vacation, do our own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or leave the kids at the Grams. They'll host the big
That's
event,
what I'm thinking.
And then you're good to go.
Yeah. There's always like people in town. Right. So we're good.
And everyone's off on the 4th.
Everyone's off. It's perfect.
A lot of babysitters.
Yeah.
That's
perfect.
Funny. Well, show them your cute dress.
This is what my mom got me. Look at me.
Miss Fizzle.
Literally. No, I was like, I literally look like I'm on the Magic School Bus. My mom got it for me from Amazon. I don't have a link, but what I'll do, and this is what I told Morgan, like we need to do like an upgrade on our Amazon storefront because if you don't know, we still have it, and it's got like jewelry, all the cats and dog shit, like our favorite essentials on there. But we need to do an update for some shit that we've collected over.
I could do a full home update.
Oh my God, you could do a full blown one.
Yeah,
I could do cats. Cats. And you know what, I'm not gonna lie, I've been getting
a wardrobe too,
a lot of clothes off Amazon.
How do we do a TikTok shop? How do we sell shit
you know
TikTok?
We need to figure it out. It's easy. It's really easy.
Because that's
where it's at.
One, profitable wise, but also two,
I order everything off the TikTok shop.
I was scared until you were like, no, I got this. I was like, all right, fucking fine. Why am I constantly add to cart? I think my TikTok cart is like maybe $500-$600 right now. Obviously, I'll go through it. And I'm not gonna spend $600 on TikTok.
But just so you don't forget where it's at.
But exactly, because now that's so easy. Instead of saving and liking a video, because you never find those,
you're never gonna go back and find that motherfucker.
Add it to fucking cart.
Add it to cart.
Period.
I've gotten so many, and I've kept all of the boxes and stuff because I'm not gonna do a review on anything until I've used it fully. And I've got everything that I could still do it because the rule is that you can't make it unless it's in your hand.
Yeah.
It won't work.
And this is one product that we need to endorse for all of our mamas out there. You're gonna scream.
What is it?
It is a UFO for a baby.
I love that.
It's on TikTok shop.
I love that.
And you literally just drive them around in it.
Yeah, I would love that.
It has a little alien on the front.
I'm putting my cats in it.
Pink, green, and blue.
We need to get a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't we
can we reach out?
Why didn't we create a little baby UFO?
Because unfortunately we don't have degrees that would let us build things.
You're right. We are not engineers.
Even though I would love to, I would do that motherfucker, but
my legs are hurting.
Yeah, my legs are already hurting just from being crisscross. I'm so excited for season 5 and to get rid of these fucking chairs.
She was like, excited? We have so much to do today. We have to book a trip. We got to do a bunch of recordings. And she was like, and then also, too much to do.
It's all the time.
I knew it was the studio.
You know,
like, I just want
to talk about it. It's all I've been able to think about for like the last 2 months is like, what can we do? What can we change?
Yeah.
What is it going to look like? And every time I see something, I just keep adding it to like a little saved folder.
TikTok shop.
Yeah, basically. But okay, CEO of being birthday girl, let me go ahead and catch you up on everything that happened. Arletta came in and surprised me for literally 24 hours. Logan didn't tell anyone. Not Morgan, not my mom.
She texted me Arletta's here and I was like,
what?
Immediately though, shout out to Logan for not telling me because that would have blew it.
Yeah, and she said I'm low-key a little, and I said, you know, we would have both ruined it. Yeah, you and my mom would have ruined it. You guys, my mom, when I told her, she was like, well, thank God he didn't tell me because I would have been like, you need to clean your house. You need to clean your house.
I would have been like, hey, don't You need to finish editing. Why are you?
Early.
I would be checking in.
Yeah,
why are you cooking dinner? You need to be editing.
You need to be editing right now. Exactly. So, anyways, Arletta flew in. I told the full story. We just got off the phone. We just got off the phone with Patreon. We just got off Pipe and Hot Goss with Patreon.
We had a long call with them.
We gave them the like long form of every single thing that we're kind of telling you here, because obviously with this being a creepy account, hi, if this is your first time listening to a creepy account, this is where we read your stories that you send into creepsandcrimes.ca@gmail.com, and it's like listener stories, what we call them, creepy accounts.
And also, hi, if this is your first time here in general, we do talk for the first 10 to 12 minutes. So if you hate that, instead of leaving a review, just literally take
like Jersey Girl in
1 second
Vermont
with your finger, grab your index finger right now, grab that little ball, and then go
drag
10:01.
Yeah, or
12.
You'll be listening to our music right then. But
so
yeah,
just a fun fact.
Just a little fun fact about us, if you didn't know.
Jersey girl.
Yeah, Jersey girl from Vermont or whatever.
Vermont.
Yeah,
Jersey
living in Vermont. Yeah,
cool
we'll
name.
see you on Shots Fired.
Cool name.
So what?
PA
One
girl
star.
living in Tennessee.
She literally was here for 24 hours. We ate at the Kennedy. The Kennedy was so
I'm so
good.
sad I missed her.
I know. I am too. And then after that, we, what did we do? Oh, we worked. Then we hung out. We went to lunch with Julia at Sona. We were talking about how good their spicy watermelon margaritas are. And I typically don't like watermelon anything unless it's actual real watermelon.
Speaking of food, did you place the order?
Good. Yes, I did. Okay. It'll be here in 35 minutes.
Perfect.
So we ordered kava because we're starving.
It's my 4th or 5th day in a row now having kava. So
and yeah,
I'm not over it yet.
We're not ever gonna be over it. I don't think
so either.
Yeah. So yeah, that was mine. CEO of Florida Girl. What's going on?
CEO of being a fucking auntie.
I
spent like 4 days with my nephew, stayed at my brother's. The whole fam was there, minus my dad. And Marshall, it always seems to be that way.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Aaron also wasn't able to make the trip because he had to work. But yeah, it was a great little time. My flight, Allegiant, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm so mad still, and I'm exhausted. My flight, I was supposed to leave yesterday at 4 p.m., get home in Knoxville at 5:30, be on my fucking couch by 6.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen. I got in at 10 a.m. this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're refusing to call it a cancellation.
Yeah. Because of the new law. Yeah.
So it was a significant delay. Actually, they didn't call it that. Delay. And then every single time it was subject to change.
Well, it was so funny because on like Flight Tracker, because when it got switched over from last night to this morning, I was like, okay, I will come pick you up because obviously Erin's got to go to work. So, and it actually worked out great because then I picked her up, we talked in the car, and then I dropped her off, she got ready, and then she came back over
and
here.
And it was like everything that we neted to talk about, not on the podcast.
I know, it was perfect.
It was perfect.
It was perfect. 10 out of 10, would recommend doing it again.
Every day we record, do you want to take me to work?
Go to the airport. Yeah, and I'll take you to the hospital, pick you up, and then we'll do that. Yeah, that's literally, it worked out so great. We had Dunkin' Donuts. It was perfect. Mm-hmm. So we had a really fun morning. But when I was tracking her flight this morning before it even took off, it was like 11 hours and 30 minutes delayed. And I was like, what the hell? But then when
illegal.
When it got to like the one from this morning at 7 got delayed because the original flight got delayed, it was like delayed an hour and a half. I'm like, more like 12 and a half hours.
Yeah.
Not an hour and a half.
I texted my boss last night. I was like, my flight got moved to tomorrow morning.
I'm not even lying.
Like, I'm not going to make it in. And she literally said, you're joking, right?
You're joking.
Like, thought I was joking. And I had to send her the screenshot, and she was like, damn, I really thought that you made it up.
Yeah. And you're like, I wish I was making it up. Yeah, I would love to be at home.
She was like, I wish someone would tell me I couldn't work any more hours. And I was like, hey,
that's all we need.
You know, I'm seeing the bright side of this. I really didn't want to go in today. Actually. Yeah. I was contemplating.
It honestly worked out for the best.
Kidding. I don't call out, but.
Well, if you were at home at 6, you wouldn't have even needed to, but.
Well, and that's the other thing is that they had people promise that they would be here at, what I tell you, 8:30.
Yeah,
I think we were supposed to land. Mm-hmm. So people that go into work at 9 or 9:30, like they probably didn't even call out. Didn't even call their bosses, let them know. And then fucking, what time did I really land? 11.
You landed at like 10:48.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Anyway, it is what it is. But I will say, we were just talking about this. It takes so little energy to get on a plane, sit down, and land and you're not driving, but it's so exhausting.
It's exhausting. And we were trying to decide, like, is it just like the energetic like side of it, like where
being
you're
aware and like, you know, having to listen for updates.
Right.
When are you
boarding? By the way, Morgan's flight definitely should not have been in the air.
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with the plane.
100%. It was like a point when I was watching it on the tracker that it just like stopped moving in the sky. I was like, floating. Did she crash?
Well, what's also weird is that I fell asleep on the plane, and I could have sworn to you at like 9:50 they made the announcement that we're preparing for descent and that we'll be there within 40 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then tell me why I fell back asleep and woke up again at like 10:18. And it was like, well, we're preparing for descent. We'll be there in 30 minutes. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. I heard it twice.
Weird.
I literally heard it twice.
That's weird. Yeah.
Because when the time I got up and I heard an announcement, I thought it was like,
you're bold as fuck for sleeping on a plane by yourself. I know, you can't help it. You literally.
Well, so the girl, this is funny. The girl next to me, whenever we left the airport last night and had to go back to the ticket counter, her and her husband were the ones that I was talking to.
Oh, good.
And so I get on the plane and they move all of our seats. And she comes and sits down.
And you're like, hell yeah.
I'm like, hey. She's like, hey. And then all three of us were
just absolutely gone. Yeah.
So I felt all right with them.
Yeah, they're good then.
Yeah, but I always do.
You wouldn't know any better. At the end of this episode, in the outro, we're going to talk to you guys about what mine and Morgan's like personal challenges, and you guys can join it with us if you want to, because we have homework that we're going to do, and it's spiritual homework.
Stop using that word.
Dream work. We have dream work that we're doing. We have nighttime work.
I hate the word homework.
Homework. All right. Hit them with it.
If you're driving, throw that shit on cruise control.
If you got a glass, pour that shit up,
and let's get creepy.
Okay, Morgana.
Okie dokie.
What do you have for the first creepy account?
Well, I feel like I'm gonna burp here. We just had a big, large dinner.
Shoveled crava
right into our crevices.
Carabas.
Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. I'm good. Okay, the first one we have is from Lex using she, her pronouns. Title is A Whole Lot of Creepy Shit, Not Clickbait.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hey, girly pops. Definitely still kind of clickbaited you into reading this. LMAO. My name is Alexis, but y'all can call me Lex and my pronouns are she, her. First and foremost, before I get into talking about my childhood, I would like to say how much I love listening to you guys. I just took a 3-month break, had a baby, no big deal. Congratulations. And I'm so excited to get back into the episodes and the bonus content on Patreon that I've missed. Y'all know I had to subscribe for the extra content and tea.
OG pick me cult.
Anyways, I grew up Roman Catholic. Did the whole ordeal: Wednesday night church school, Sunday school after church, first communion, confirmation, yada yada. Currently, I do not practice organized religion, and neither does my husband. The babe will be getting baptized, but more so only as a just in case the rapture comes, and she'll be able to choose what she wants to believe when she's old enough.
I got you.
I believe there's something out there bigger and more powerful than us, whether that be aliens, a god, or gods. I have a few stories, but I'll try not to make it too long.
Lex, I love you.
Yeah, I love that. Growing up, my mama has always talked about how she can see and talk to ghosts. She often has dreams about visiting our past loved ones in their realm, or my favorite one was our 15-year-old deceased Australian shepherd coming to visit her to let her know she was happier where she was. That being said, as an adolescent, I always had a feeling of something other being there, like a veil. I've seen the shadow people in broad daylight, had sleep paralysis dreams where I can see the shadow person choking me, or the one story that really sticks to me to this day and has me looking behind me constantly. I was like maybe 6, maybe 7, and had been sitting in our living room playing with my Polly Pockets.
Of course.
As I'm changing Miss Polly out of a dress, I see something in the corner of the room move. It's broad daylight, maybe around 1 p.m., and I'm the only one in the living room. As I turn my head, I see a shadow figure standing inside the wall.
What the hell?
It's like a piece of wallpaper had slipped down, and behind it was this lava-like background and this man looking right at me.
What?
I remember feeling confused by this man I was seeing, but was not afraid. I asked him what he was doing, and he replied in a deep voice that he was just watching me before he returned to his home.
Oh.
I asked him where his home was, and he had replied that his home was beyond mine. Another shadow figure had come into that view, and a female voice had asked if he was ready to go. He nodded his head and went to turn away. I don't know what was going through my GD mind to ask if I could go with. I know, what the hell was that little shit thinking?
What?
The female voice says in a very cheerful tone, let her come.
Look, let her come!
Lex!
Bring her along with ya! Hey, ma'am. Calm the fuck down.
But also, like, you must have been really comfortable with that.
Yeah, like, it must have been, like, so chill that you're like, well,
where are you guys going? I want to come. Can I bring...
To the beyond?
Can I bring Polly?
Can I bring my Polly Pockets with me or what? She needs to change her clothes.
Do you have the Polly Pocket mansion?
On the other side, or what's that?
The jet, anything?
Right, I'll be there.
I need them all. He turns back toward me and said, you can't come with us yet. You need to stay here for a little while. And then they were gone. Like what I had been seeing was never there, and I was going insane. Now, 20 years later, I'm absolutely terrified about when the yet will become now and what and where I invited myself to.
Me too.
I'm also scared for you.
I'm terrified.
Now for the haunted house. This one will be short, but we moved into a newer house in 2010, and every night you could hear someone walking up and down the stairs where there was no one there. Cupboards slamming in the middle of the night, or our alarm system saying garage door, which meant someone had opened the door always around 3 a.m.
No.
The mimics we heard of our mom constantly and the wailing of a woman inside our closed garage. My mom had seen an older lady inside her closet looking for clothes to change into, and whenever my mom asked when she could help the old lady, would disappear, and whenever I walked into their closet, you could just feel someone else was in there with you. Like I said, a lot of creepy shit going on. Ever since I moved out of my parents' house, I don't have any sleep paralysis dreams, no shadow figures, no visitors, but that doesn't stop me from saging my house once a month. Avoiding any horror movies, big believer in that when you watch things like The Conjuring, The Nun, or any movies like that, you're inviting that energy into your home and making your own energy vulnerable to attacks from those looking to do harm.
Yes, yes, yes.
But anyways, I'll leave you with a happier short story. Growing up, my gram always called me Miss Ladybug.
Aww.
She lived in Missouri, so I spent the summer months with her once I was out of school, and when I couldn't see her, we often talked on the phone where she sang my "You Are My Sunshine" as a goodbye every time.
Aww.
She passed in 2021 from early onset Alzheimer's and dementia. I was absolutely heartbroken. I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but I was her only granddaughter out of my parents' 5 kids, so y'all get my gist.
Yeah, I get it.
I got a tattoo to commemorate her of a ladybug and daisies. The first time I sang "You Are My Sunshine" to my daughter, trying to calm her during her colicky phase, as I sang, "Please don't take my sunshine away," a ladybug flew onto the sleeve of my daughter's sleeper, and my daughter had instantly calmed. Teary-eyed, I whispered, "Hi, Gram," and it flew away. We had always joked with my Gramps that my Gram loved ladybugs so much that she might turn into one. I wholeheartedly believe that anytime I see a ladybug, my Gram is near and will always greet her. All right, that's it, bitches. I hope it wasn't too long for you guys. Appreciate you gals and all the work you do to bring these episodes to us every week. Love and light, Lex.
Lex, you fucked me up with a ladybug.
Lex. You know, here's the thing. You might have conjured up some scary shit when you were a kid, but Graham's there.
Yeah, Graham's got it under control.
Graham will protect you.
Yeah, I mean, wow. That is...
Graham will send a massive army of ladybugs to... the man and the woman.
Can you ask your Graham while you're at it if she can stop the ladybugs from infesting my house when in the fall?
You know, I actually saw one the other day too.
They flew on me the other day, but it's not a ladybug. It wasn't a ladybug. It was the mimics of the ladybugs. So there's
the yellow ones.
Yeah, they're like orangey yellow. They're called like something beetles, but they're like, I saw one of them the other day and I was like, don't you fucking start.
Don't you start.
Don't you start it. Bring me only ladybugs and that's it, period.
That's it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sending this in, Lex. This was such a great story. The next one we have is from Abby using she, her pronouns. And the title is "Murdered Aunt Appeared to Me in a Dream." I don't know why I said aunt. I normally say aunt.
We both
Here we
back
are.
And forth.
We do. Hello, ladies. My name is Abby, she, her, from Minnesota. I just started listening to your podcast and I love the creepy accounts. I grew up always believing in the supernatural. We live in an old farmhouse that my great-great-great-grandfather built and have many creepy stories. I'm going to highlight some of the ones that stand out. We lost my aunt to an unsolved murder in 1992, and I'll touch on that in a little bit, but let me know if you want more. Story number 1. I grew up hearing this story, then telling it to all of my friends who slept over. When my parents first moved in to my childhood home, weird things were happening. Lights turning off, doors closing, that kind of thing. My dad never believed my mom until one night when he was plowing the driveway after a snowstorm and the lights went out. This was the 1980s, so before automatic floodlights. He asked my mom why she shut off the lights, but she hadn't. These things continued until one day my mom woke up and saw her grandpa standing at the end of her bed in his overalls waving. That day, my great-grandma, his wife, died. That was that until years and years later. When I was in 3rd grade, my beloved aunt was strangled in her apartment. Afterwards, we experienced harassment from whoever killed her. And now, 31 years later, they still haven't found out who killed her.
Oh my God.
What?
I'm so sorry for
I am so sorry.
Traumatic.
This is awful. My little sister was only 3, and while my mom was going through my aunt's things at my grandparents' house, they were watching some 2020 special or something with a possessed little girl. My sister asked my mom, quote, "Don't they see the snake telling her to do those things?" No.
Ew.
No. Oh my God. It didn't end there with my little sister. The TV would turn up for no reason. She would wake up screaming in the hallway. She was coloring and the page next to her was colored perfectly. My aunt was an artist. So like as she's sitting there, these they're getting colored in your aunt's house while you guys are unpacking this. I was in 3rd grade when my aunt died, and maybe in 5th or 6th grade, I had a very vivid dream that she came back to visit the whole family from her heaven. We were sitting around my grandparents' dining room table, and she was telling us all about her heaven, showing us pictures of what her heaven looked like. It was green, lush, and magical, just like her. I remember sitting on a stool at the counter and someone asked who killed her. I woke up and I have never, ever had another one like that despite trying to.
I missed the part where you said this was a dream. And so I'm like, wait, are you guys all like sitting around the table, like doing witchy shit, contacting your aunt? Like I was so confused for a second. I was like, wow, she's really coming through.
She really came through. Like she was pulling up. Okay.
I mean, she still is coming through in your dream.
I mean, seriously
I thought
though,
this was like
that you guys were like holding a seance around the dining room table. Yeah. I do believe that she may have been protecting me because that is not something that an older elementary school kid needs to carry. I have always felt my aunt with me when things are difficult or will get an overwhelming feeling, and I know it's her. I used to write her letters, especially in the middle of dating, about the creeps that I met or the heartbreak I thought I was experiencing. My career was directed from experiencing this tragic loss so early. Oh, wow. Story number 3. Like I said, I grew up in an old farmhouse. The only bathroom was by the back door off the kitchen. My mom got up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom and didn't close the door. She saw a man looking into the window. My mom called 911 and the operator asked her if she went out and asked him what he wanted.
What the fuck?
Pissed off, she said, "I'm home alone with 3 girls. No, I did not ask him what he wanted."
The fuck is wrong with people?
And then it moves on to story. Hey, babe. I need you to run it back and tell me what the rest of that is. Story number 4. In high school, we had some friends over and we were watching Signs. Oh, it's such a good movie. I believe we saw a man in a trench coat walking up the road carrying a black garbage bag. Now, it wasn't just me. Everyone that was over saw the same thing. He went into the ditch that was on the side of our driveway. We lived at a dead-end road. And when he came out, he didn't have the bag and just walked back to where he came from. We all freaked out and were too scared to go outside to even meet the pizza delivery guy when they came next. The next morning, we finally worked up the courage to go check, and there was nothing there.
Ew, that's freaky.
That's like what's that called?
Like a haunting?
Yeah, like where they're doing like the same thing. Residual haunting. Like what if
from the past of a man dumping a body or
something like that,
something traumatic that he's now living a loop
right, and maybe he died right after that and he's just
that's freaky.
Wow. Story number 5. I was in college in Duluth, Minnesota, and my family was at home. I, being stupid, had an 8 a.m. class, went and came back to nap. I woke up suddenly because I felt like someone was standing over me, but it didn't make me feel bad. It was more comforting. I told my mom during a phone call, and weird things had been happening around the home. My sister's lava lamp, yes, I'm an older millennial, I also had a lava lamp, and I'm a old-ass Gen Z. My sister's lava lamp was standing straight up and down in the cat bed. A light fixture randomly fell and broke, and my mom felt a presence behind her.
What?
I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm on the phone. I told my mom during a phone call, and as I'm doing this, weird things started happening in the home. My sister's lava lamp was standing straight up and down in the cat bed. A light fixture randomly fell and broke, and my mom felt a presence behind her while I guess they're on the phone talking about this. Okay, sorry, I'm with you now. Turns out my mom had gotten into a fight with my grandma, her mom, and my grandpa had passed away the year before. My mom and grandma made amends at the time. I felt the presence, and my mom did. I know that my grandpa was just checking in on me. I was close to the both of them. Side note, we lost my grandma to Alzheimer's. She met my oldest and adored him like she adored all of her great grandkids, but she never got to meet my youngest, who was born 5 years after she passed on her birthday, 2/22/21 at 2:25 a.m. Wow. Oh wait, no, that's when the grandmother passed away. I was induced on 2/21 and made slow progress until 2, when I went from 2 centimeters to 10 in less than 2 hours. Well, look at those 2s.
Yeah, wow.
His middle name is Robert, after my dad, and my grandpa, her husband. I love that he still has that little connection to her and me to continue to have her. Like I said, there are many more, especially around my aunt and things that we experienced following her murder. Keep telling the creepy stories, Abby. P.S. I included pictures of my cats, dogs, and kids because, being biased, I think that they are the cutest and most precious things.
And they are.
Oh my, you have a noni head cat. Oh my God.
Oh, that kitty's on.
Look at your
stuck
babies.
in the couch. Did they rip that couch?
Yeah, literally. It's of course an orange cat that's halfway in and out of a fucking couch.
Your couch is ripped and there's fluff, not me. Why?
No.
What do you look at?
I'm just snuggling
up.
Do
I literally look like I did something? I'm just sitting here.
I'm in my sleeping bag.
Yeah, I don't know
what are you fucking talking about. Look at
look at your boys.
Orange cat with the fucking dog just hiding underneath it.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Look at those 2 different colored eyes.
Sweet.
Oh, sweet. Thank you so much for writing this in. Thank you for the pictures. Your babies are all so fucking cute and gorge.
They are.
I need all the stories.
This fucking couch pictures cracking me up.
It's giving
the eyes. Why does your cat look like
it's just doing what it's supposed to be doing? Like and? Are you shocked?
This was mine, not yours. Did you buy it? That's funny.
So cute. Thank you so much, Abby.
Thank you, Abby.
And I need the full stories. Please.
I need to know exactly what happened after.
I need to know and I want to know the rest of the man and the police said, did you go ask him what he wants?
If her killer was harassing you guys and the police couldn't trace any of the harassment, I need to know more.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, thank you so much, Abby. Sending you love and light.
The next one we have is from Tracy, and the title is Granny Spooky as Shit House.
Oh, let's go.
Hey, y'all. So I'm new to your podcast and love it.
Aww.
Addicted already. I love all things spooky, paranormal, crime-ridden, etc. I watch every show I can and every podcast I can find. Grateful for finding you girlies. So let me tell you a little tale about my granny's house. I'm no English major, so I apologize in advance.
We're with you, Tracy.
My maternal grandmother, who we will call Granny, lived in a small community in central Texas. She lived outside the community on top of this, what we called a mountain, but really a big hill, several miles from the main highway. From time to time, my parents would leave us at my granny's while they were out or were gone for a weekend. From a very early age, I did not like staying there, especially overnight. I didn't know why I didn't like it, but what I did know was I was scared as shit the whole time. Even in the daylight, I did not want to be alone in any room in that house. However, there were rooms that were more scary than others. I never felt like I was alone, and I would speed walk through the rooms just to get out as soon as possible. Anytime I was going up the stairs anywhere.
Yeah.
Speed walk.
Out of breath, holding my breath, trying to get up the stairs.
Even when I was outside and past certain rooms or windows, I was uncomfortable and didn't want to make eye contact with a freaking window. My granny could sew anything, and she had a sewing room in the very back of the house. This room literally made me have chills. Not to mention the room was about 10 degrees colder than the rest of the house. Now I know what that possibly means, but then I was just a small kid and didn't know crap about paranormal. I never spoke to anyone about this growing up, not my parents or any of my cousins, and I just figured I was just a big puss. As the years passed, I finally started learning more about grannies and all the paranormal activity. Here's the story of the plate.
Oh, fuck.
My granny was a top-notch homemaker and cooked 3 meals a day while my grandfather, that's a cute name.
That is so cute.
Was a farmer rancher. My had this favorite plate that he liked to have his breakfast on every morning.
Aww.
It was the antique-looking blue and white pattern on an oval plate.
Yep.
Every night, my granny would sit the plate out on the table for the next morning's breakfast. Morning would come and she would make breakfast and fill the plate. That morning, she got up and walked by the table and there was no plate. She thought it was strange because she never forgot that damn plate.
Right.
She tore the cupboards apart looking for the plate and nothing. The freaking plate was gone. Pretty sure she accused Preach of jacking with her, but regardless, no fucking plate. A week or so passed and Granny and Preach came to celebrate my birthday at my parents' home. They stayed a couple of hours and headed home, and as they walked in the back door, flipped the lights on, passed the table, and yep, there was that damn plate. Just as if my granny had put it out for the next morning. I would have broken that motherfucker into 1,000 pieces. Seriously.
Yeah.
Come to find out later in the years, there was a ton of paranormal activity in the house. They had wood floors and could hear footsteps like someone with boots on but not laced up, and the laces were hitting the floor. They heard voices, and my mom even saw a lady on the end of the bed, sitting on the end of the bed. Unfortunately, there was a suicide in the house years earlier before they moved in. About a year ago, I took my husband on a little drive-by just to see my granny's house, and as soon as we pulled up to the gate, the whole feeling of panic returned. Haunted as shit.
Holy hell.
Again, I never told anyone about how scared I was growing up, but about 5 years ago, we had a huge reunion with all of my cousins. And of course, we started talking about the house, and come to find out, all of my cousins had the exact same feelings growing up as I did. We were all scared shitless. Hope you enjoyed my story and can't wait for the next podcast. Keep up the great work, Tracy.
Tracy. Holy shit.
Holy shit. Okay, wait. About the plate. It just reminded me of this thing.
Yeah.
Do you know the red and white plate? It's red, has white writing, and it says, "You are special today."
Yes.
Did you guys have one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They sell on Amazon for like $45 a plate. And we would like fight over it. It was like our birthday plate, but like sometimes like if the dishwasher
I've heard about this plate from you. Maybe that's why. I don't know if I had maybe. It. Yeah.
And anytime the dishwasher, like we were low on dishes, like this "You Are Special" plate got out for dinner and we all would fight over it.
Yeah.
Don't you think I have to buy each, like one of my siblings, a "You Are Special" plate for Christmas
you do.
this year?
You have to.
I think that's hilarious. I don't know why I was thinking about it this week, and I looked it up on Amazon. They're like $45 for one plate.
Buy it right now.
I know. I think I need to.
Yeah.
I need to get 3.
Yeah.
But like, where's Marshall going to keep his?
Okay, just get 4 and then put it in your mom's house.
Yeah, you're right.
Does your mom still have it?
I think hers broke.
No.
So she might need one too.
Yeah. Well, just get 4 and your mom can keep it until Marshall needs it.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
But I want you to kind of have the OG since you're being so nice. So maybe only get 3. And then if your mom has OG, you take it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I need the OG.
Yeah, I think so.
Just to fight over it.
Yeah, just to fight over it one more time. Okay, Tracy. Damn. Yeah, that shit's crazy. And I love that your granny is like so on top of her shit that she's like, I lay this thing out every single fucking day. I know. Right. And she's going and accusing Preach. Preach. Where'd you put it?
She's like, I know you're fucking with me.
You've got to be fucking with me because I know I sat it out. I sat for 40
I feel like that
years.
Instance has happened to both of us so many times where we're like, I know it's right here.
A lot more.
And we
recently.
come back and it's right fucking there. And we tore the whole house apart for it. I'm sorry, I lost my spot.
What? Something actually. We're on creepy account number 4. What happened to me? Oh, I pulled out. Okay, this is crazy. I pulled out. You know, like the tongs? No, the little pebbles that you put into the washer. They're downy little pebbles, like pink little pebbles.
Yes.
Okay.
Scenty booties.
Yeah, those little things. So I pulled those out because I was in the middle of doing laundry. And when I'm like doing a bunch of loads back to back, I just put like the detergent and everything on the top so I don't have to keep bending down on the drawer pulling the shit out. Okay, right. So I put it all up there. I walk away. I have one load going. I come back to the second load and it's not up there. But I was like, I know I fucking put that up there. I open the drawer. It's not in the drawer. It's not in the dryer drawer. It's not in the washer drawer. I check the cabinets underneath the bathroom. Like maybe I just sat them down there not thinking. I walked around the whole house thinking like, okay, what did I do next? Maybe I carried them into the other room not thinking. Cannot find them. The Tide Pods are still there, but not the little Scenties. And I'm like, what in the hell? I got up on a stool. I looked in all the things, couldn't find it. Made sure I didn't put it in a basket. Not in a basket anywhere. I walk away. I go outside to Logan. I'm like, did you take those like anywhere? And he's like, no. So I come upstairs. I look all around upstairs, seeing if I just dropped them somewhere and like had them under my arm and didn't think twice about it because I didn't take an Adderall yesterday. So God knows I'm just walking around. I had like 15 minutes left on the washer. I had just gone in there to check it, realized that they were gone. So 15 minutes go by and I'm like, all right, maybe I'll find them here in a little bit. They'll come back. That's all I kept saying. Like, they're going to come back. I walk back in there, Morgan. They're on top of the washer now. Ew. They were on top of the dryer before. Now they're staying on top of the washer. I'm like,
either we're losing it.
Either I'm losing it.
Or someone's fucking with us.
Or someone's fucking with me. But I went through everything on top of that washer. I checked behind it. No, I moved it, picked it all up. It would have been sitting there. I would have knocked it off.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. Crazy.
It's fucking annoying. I hate when that shit happens.
Me too. I'm like, just stop hiding it from me.
Yeah.
Put it back. Okay. This one is from Priscilla and the title is Grandpa sent me a message through a friend. Hi, besties. I was listening to Creepy Account Volume 37, and there were a lot of stories about grandparents or loved ones already gone manifesting themselves in one way or another. My name is Priscilla. I grew up in Mexico, raised by my grandparents until I was 15. I'm 28 as I type this email. Needless to say, he was like my father. My grandfather passed away in December of 2023. Oh, I'm so sorry. He went into surgery to unclog an artery in his heart and came out well from that, but after a few hours, he had a massive stroke that obliterated his memory. He no longer knew who he was or who we were. My biggest fear came true.
This is our third story
about grandparents. Yeah, and Alzheimer's. It's crazy.
Weird.
Fourth story about grandparents.
Yeah.
Wow. I was always terrified of Alzheimer's and the point in my life where my grandparents' memory would fail them and not know who I was, and suddenly I was living it. He was stuck in his youth, it seemed. He would do hand gestures like holding a cigarette or a bottle of Buchanan's, talked about people who were no longer with us, etc. His health declined after he fell and broke his hip, and he just never came back from that, and then we lost him. The doctors gave him 3 days. He went on to live 10 more days. He had always been stubborn and didn't want to let go. It's been so hard on everyone, and sometimes the grief feels bigger than myself, too heavy to carry. A few months ago, I woke up to a message from a childhood friend that I keep up with, but we don't talk often. She told me that she had a dream where she was at the ranch with her grandpa and my grandpa, both who are no longer with us. And my grandpa was joking around with her, but he told her, quote, "Tell Priscilla that I'm happy where I am and not to worry about me," end quote. I got chills all over my body. I can't even type it without crying. It's really not paranormal or crime, but maybe spiritual. I don't know. Those stories in volume 37 reminded me of my friend's message, and I thought, I gotta tell the girls. I hope you guys are doing well. Congrats on all that you've accomplished. You two are incredible, and the passion you both put into every episode is incredible. Keep up the incredible work. Sending you all so much love.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Priscilla, that was so beautiful.
Aww.
I don't know how we've gotten, like, we basically are doing a redo of volume 37 because these are all like little messages that we're getting from people. Priscilla, thank you so much for writing that in. That was a really gorgeous story, and I'm glad that you kind of got reminded of it by listening to that episode from us. That's really, really sweet.
Thanks,
thank you
Priscilla.
so much.
All right, the next one we have is from Lori using she her pronouns. The title is Grillies.
Oh, I typed that wrong. My bad. Girlies.
Grills must read. This is scary shit. Ghost pick attached. Yeah. Yay for second story. Hi ladies, my name is Lori, she, her. I have been a listener since the beginning of season 2 and I cannot get enough of you. I found Taylar on the TikTok and I was hooked. I then binged your podcast and needed to join your $10 tier Patreon, big ballin' money bitches, to fill in my withdrawal from you girls. I have a few stories that I have been wanting to send in, just never could sit down to write them out. Well, I finally got around to it, so here are those 2 of the stories.
Okay, let's get it, Lori.
When I was younger, I remember every now and then when my dad and his brothers and sisters would get together, they would sit around telling stories from the past. Those stories would always turn into a couple scary stories. One thing I remember that always stuck with me was about Grandpa Wilson.
Another grandpa.
Grandpa Wilson, what is up, guys?
What's going on?
This is when's Grandparents' Day?
I guess it's today.
July. It's today, July 4th.
Good news, everybody. July 4th is now Grandparents' Day.
Grandpa Wilson was my dad's great grandpa. Now, I'm not very clear on exactly what Grandpa Wilson was into, but it seems that he may have participated in some dark activities.
Ooh.
So one story was my dad with his brothers and sisters. They were over at Grandpa Wilson's house, which was in Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita.
The kids were hanging around playing in the yard when all of a sudden, Grandpa Wilson started becoming very nervous and agitated. All the kids ran into the house where they all noticed Grandpa's kitchen table was levitating.
Bitch, what?
Just that, he's a magician.
Wait, you're like, he's into some dark things. I was not thinking like magic. I was thinking like maybe not a good person.
I'll never forget my cousin who had a magician at her like 4th grade birthday party or like 8th birthday party. And there was a magician and he was like, I'm going to pick someone from the audience. Obviously he's going to pick her. It's her birthday.
Yeah.
And she went up there and he levitated her off the table.
How?
I don't know, but I'm like, me next.
Me, I'm her cousin. I'm the birthday girl's cousin.
I'm literally the cousin.
Me next. And what you don't know about me, Mr. Magician, is that one day I'm going to be the co-host of Creeps and Crimes podcast, and you need to put me on this fucking table right now.
He looked at my thick little thighs when I was a kid. He's like, next.
Oh my God.
All right. So the table is levitating. Just then, Grandpa Wilson started yelling to the kids to run out to the cornfield and not to look back at the house.
No, not the cornfield, Grandpa Wilson.
Cornfield. Children of the corn. My dad remembers hearing a thumping on the roof, and it sounded like something was running back and forth. Grandpa kept yelling, go, go. So all the kids started running to the field. Of course, my dad couldn't resist, so he turned around and looked at the house, and what he saw made him freak out. My dad described seeing a monkey-like creature jumping on Grandpa Wilson's house. It was jumping back and forth from the house to the barn. It was an alien running all over the roof.
Was Godzilla? What? Not Godzilla. What's the other one?
King Kong.
King Kong.
King Kong is jumping from the barn to the roof.
Grandpa Wilson run like a fucking lab testing? Like what in the fuck?
Yeah, Doctor Who? What's his name? Doctor? I don't know.
Doolittle.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
I'm sorry.
Alien. I'm getting alien vibes here. After that, weeks later, my dad's two brothers and his sister finally decided to discuss that day. Each one of them said they looked back and they described the same creature. Knowing the dark and scary stuff that Grandpa Wilson was into, they all agreed that it was probably some kind of demon. I know my dad and uncles had other stories about Grandpa Wilson, but I don't remember them. Unfortunately, my dad and both my uncles passed away 2 years ago, so I can no longer find out about the stories. I wish that I would have recorded all of them that my dad used to tell me growing up, because now those stories are gone forever.
Aww.
Not anymore.
We've got them right here. They're going to be here forever and always. About the monkey on the fucking roof.
I need a Snapchat depiction.
Yeah,
framed incense.
I need a sketch.
My second story that I have for you all is also, I call Ollie Monkey, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just like, Monkey.
Now I'm like, we can't call him Monkey anymore.
My second story that I have for you all is my ghost sighting and picture. My story took place in May 2005 at my home in California. We have a pool with an attached jacuzzi. And one night, my sister Dawn and I decided to have a spa night.
Oh.
Sissy girl time. While I was making myself a drink to take out with me, my sister had already gone out back and was taking some pictures of the sunset. As I was walking out back, my sister was standing up on the patio and she said, "Hey, Lori, stop right there and let me take your picture." I'm sure Dawn doesn't sound like that. I just want to...
Hey, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
Stop right there and let me take your picture.
And Lori stops. I stopped right next to the jacuzzi. She took a couple pictures, and as she was looking back at the pictures that she just took, she said to me, you might want to come over and check this out.
Oh.
In my mind, all I can think is, what kind of crazy look did I have on my face? LOL. And then she says, "You are not alone."
What?
Lori, you are not alone.
Lori.
Now I am starting to pay. All I'm seeing is that 70s show Lori. I don't know why. That's just like blonde, like 70s hair is what I'm seeing in the jacuzzi. Now I am starting to panic about what I am going to see. As I look at the digital camera, I see a picture of me with another figure standing right next to me. We both kind of panicked and decided to go inside and upload the pictures to our desktop computer to get a better look. Also to note that the picture, obviously this is not in the 70s, excuse me.
It was 2005, May 2005.
That's right. Also to note that the picture right before and the one taken right after were both normal. Once we uploaded the picture and now are able to view it larger, I can now see not just a figure next to me, but also a bunch of other faces as well. My brother started trying different lighting, and when he changed the pic to black and white, we could see at least 5 other faces floating around. The figure in the picture is, I'm like keep like glancing down.
Me too. I'm trying so hard not to look.
The figure in the picture to us looks like a man in a button-up trench coat and a top hat. Also, if you look at all the faces, not one of them looks like me. So I don't think it is a double exposure of myself. So for days after I was still feeling uneasy and couldn't stop thinking about it, when I took the pictures and showed my mom, she reminded me that my 4-year-old nephew, Cameron, about a year earlier was out back swimming in the pool. He got out of the pool to walk over to the diving board, and he looks over to the corner of the yard and says, "Hey, who's that man over there by the tree?" And my mom asked him, "What man?" And he says, "That man in the coat, and he is peeing on that tree."
What?
We all looked over to the tree and we didn't see anything. But now putting it together, could it be the same man? Since both sightings, the man was wearing a trench coat. I guess it's possible. I haven't seen the man again, but we have had a few other strange things happen at the house. I do have one more story that took place at my first job at a music video store, but I feel this is already long enough, so I'll send that in another time. Thank you, girls, for all you do, and thank you for taking the time to read my story. I hope you enjoy the photos. Love you, girls. Lori.
Lori, love you. Yes, send it in, but I have to zoom in on these pictures.
First off, what a backyard.
Wait, I'm going to go to the email so I can zoom in better.
Killer backyard. Oh my God.
I'm terrified. What is this, 197?
Oh, that last one is really...
Lori, I want to say...
oh, I just lost my place.
Here we go. I found it. Okay. Holy fuck.
I'm getting in here.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, that's a trench coat.
Let me see it on the iPad.
Okay. I see all the faces in the black and white one. Okay, Morgan, start from the top and then go over. Zoom in on the faces.
That looks like a clown to me in a clown suit.
Yeah. You see it?
Uh-huh.
I wonder if it's Grandpa Wilson.
Or whatever and his monkeys.
Yeah.
Ew.
What the fuck? You live in California. Obviously, I don't know where you live in California, but have you looked up who might have lived in... Yeah, your backyard, by the way, is stunning gorgeous.
Yeah,
I want a spa night in your backyard.
Well, maybe without Grandpa
Wilson's. With Grandpa Wilson, but...
I mean, I just see the fountain and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, I need to be there.
Slay, Lori.
And I also love your light post. Listen, I need you to, right now... What in the fuck? I need you to look up who has lived in this house prior, because think about like the spiritual movements and how everything was going on in California. I'm sure so many houses have portals in California from like...
For sure.
Yeah, from like back in the day. And I need you to look it up and see if there's like a fucking cult leader that lived there or something crazy, because what in the actual fuck is going on here? That face is sickening.
Yeah, no, I can't even look at it anymore. That's freaky.
That's freaky.
Thanks for sharing. Clearly, Grandpa Wilson is
still fucking
around with the family.
Lori, that was iconic. Please send us the other one. Loved this. Your writing was so good in your storytelling. Send it in again, please. Love you.
Send in more. Thanks, Lori.
Oh, thank you, Lori. Okay, the next one we have is from Christina, and the title is, I think I killed my grandpa. Lord, I hope not.
Okay, do we need to call the police?
What in the hell? Christina,
we are not confidential.
I'm scared.
Only unless it's anonymous. You just gave us your name, babe.
It starts all saying, yo, creeps and crimes. Read this shit, pulls. Hey, I wrote in like 8 times, but I'll let it slide because I love you both endlessly.
Maybe we've avoided your title.
Maybe I'm scared of your title.
I'm just kidding. We just skip everything. No, we just miss everything.
We just miss a ton because we get so many in. Y'all are how I get through my workday. But anyways, enough about you. Let's talk about how my dad bought cursed land. Maybe, most definitely. I don't know how to start this, so I'm gonna just shoot. Sorry, ADHD brain, can't deal. So let's go back in time to the year 2001. My parents have my brother and me on the way and was cramped for space and wanted quote unquote more room. The talk of buying a new house had been mentioned and put in motion for weeks. My dad didn't take my mom's hint that she wanted to pick out the house or at least have a say. So to surprise her, he bought 14 acres of land and a double wide, picked her up from work and brought her to the new house.
I would kill my husband, not because of the land, not because of the double wide, but because you didn't
consult me. I'm panicked already. I wasn't there yet, but I bet she pitched a bitch fit when she realized that he left them with $20 to their name because he bought the literal middle of nowhere, 45 minutes to any type of civilization. Weeks go by and my mom still can't figure out how the hell he even found this shit. She's being nosy and found the paperwork, and boom, the shit show starts. Hundreds of papers my dad never read about all of the horrible things that had happened on this land where she is now raising 2 children and starting their family. So my dad spills the tea. The land he bought was an old hangout spot from the 30s to the 60s for teens in the area to do whatever they pleased. I'm not going into detail, but imagine the worst that could come to mind of it. My dad informed my mom that when putting their trailer in, he found a red flannel torn up and a rope very close by, and it made him very uneasy, but put the trailer there anyways because it had a nice view of the mountains.
Yeah, there might have been a crime scene down there, Brenda, but you look at this view. That's a real nice view of them mountains right there, Brenda.
Oh my God. My dad, okay, I already said
Pucky Jr.
He also informed my mom that he never walked the 14 acres due to the man he bought it from being old, and he felt bad making him walk it. At this point, I'd asked for a divorce because Chris, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Fast forward to a few years later, I'm 3, my brother is 9, dad's still a dumbass, and mom's happy to be there. I love the way that you write. He leaves one morning to walk the property because he's never seen it all and was gone for hours. When he comes back, he's so confused because he only felt like he had been gone for 45 minutes tops. Mom calls him stupid. They brush it off. But he seems distraught and wouldn't let me or my brother play outside for days after this. And finally, my mom asked, "What did you see?" And my manly dad burst into tears, saying how sorry he is for bringing us there and that he should have listened to the old man when he told my dad that this land has bad memories. Dad couldn't explain what he had seen, so he chose to show her. Mom drops the kids off at Granny's and they're gone for hours. When they pick us up, they're frantic. They take us home and not a word was said, but the blinds on the windows went up and a new rule, quote, "Never go outside without a parent and never, I mean never, look out into the wood line at night," end quote.
I
have chills.
Also probably be looking into the wood line at night.
First thing I would do.
I would be peeking out the windows.
What am I not supposed to see?
Like I have to now.
We have issues. A few years go by. I'm 8, my brother's 14. We're walking in the woods, breaking all the rules, and come across a cabin. No one had ever lived on this land until us. We open it, and this is when it all went to shit. We find books written in that I now know were written in Latin. Scary pictures and poetry. What at the time we didn't know was blood and a whole pig head.
Oh my God.
We hightailed it to our house only after my brother ran over my full body to get us the fuck out of the woods. He ran over your fucking body. We never
every man for themselves.
Yeah, right, getting out. We never said a word to my mom or dad, and then I started having an imaginary friend. This imaginary friend was hurt, burned and beaten, and looked to be crying constantly, but never would come in my room. He'd sit at the door and watch me play or tell me when I could get in trouble, like when I was jumping on the bed or writing on the walls.
Like a rule follower.
Yeah. He would tell me when dinner was ready before my mom could, and would even tell me my mom had ice cream hidden in the deep freezer. He was my guy, dude. Was so clutch.
Yeah, for sure. If I had an imaginary friend, I want to be telling me like
tell me where the ice cream's at. Tell me when the food's about to be ready.
Where are they?
Yep. And one day I brought him up to my dad and described him in great detail. He was an African-American young boy in a red flannel with a rope around his neck, and he was always crying.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sick. My dad knew instantly what had happened to him and told me that as long as he doesn't hurt me, to just ignore it. So I did. One night, me and my brother were at home alone and we heard knocking very loudly at our front door. My brother opened the door and no one was there. Same thing happened about 3 times before my brother stopped answering it, and it got louder and louder. So my brother, being the hothead he is, opened the door and yelled, "What do you want?" His eyes found the edge of the wood line and he slammed the door, locked it, grabbed me, and ran into our parents' room saying, "Don't look out there. There's a man in a red flannel with something around his neck. I'm sick."
Oh my God.
I said, "That's Jimmy. He's my friend. He got hurt here and his mom never picked him up. So he just stayed, I guess." My brother about shit his pants and he screamed, "Bro, I thought you were weird, but you've been playing with a ghost guy this whole time." When my mom got home, he snitched and my mom and dad sat us down and told us that the cabin they had found burned down was thrown away years before this. Years before, the same cabin that they burned down was standing perfectly with all of the things inside untouched that we had saw. We told them about us finding it and they told us that they would handle it and not to worry, but to leave the ghost alone. Me being me, invited my friend right back in the house.
Babe.
Fuck. A few weeks later, my grandpa showed up. He was native as fuck and lived on a res and came to clean the land and the house. Clutch as fuck.
Shout out Grandpa.
Shout out Grandpa. But as soon as he got out of the car, he fell to the ground, laid there for a good while, and got up and said, "They don't want to leave whatever is here and is looking for a home, and this is where they choose to stay."
Oh my gosh.
My dad and mom started yelling, frustratedly screaming at my grandpa and each other, and then everything stops. The world got quiet. It seemed eerie. My grandpa said, quote, "The boy doesn't like when y'all scream. It scares him," end quote. He did some cleansing work, said he'll be back to see if it worked. When he returned, he said that the boy wasn't there anymore, but there was something darker, and said that we let it out when we found paper. He had no idea about the cabin experience we had. So my dad and my grandpa went on a search for the cabin and came back the next morning absolutely distraught. My grandpa had made my dad sit in the cabin and say over and over, "This isn't your home. You're not welcome." But they only felt it to be a few hours. In reality, it was all night long. My grandpa stayed with us and helped us to get rid of everything, but soon fell very sick. Before he passed, he told my father that he couldn't get the darkness to leave, so he took it back home with him.
Oh my gosh.
He died in his sleep when he was in his home with notes written in Latin. His first language was Cherokee and only spoke English when he needed, so Latin was not even in his vocabulary.
Oh my gosh.
What? I'm sick. What?
From what we could tell?
From what we could tell from the broken English was him saying how much he loved us and how the darkness was too much. He was ready to go now that he had finally made us free from the evil in our new forever home. And he was at peace knowing that whatever he had taken with him was far from our little lives. My parents blame themselves still to this day that he took so much darkness on because my parents stupidly found the cabin, but it was well kept. It was a well kept secret that me and my brother had took things out of the cabin the day that we found it. But that's a story for another time. Keep it creepy, but not so creepy. You might have your grandpa killed because you and your brother liked to 5-finger discount things that you shouldn't. LMFAO.
Oh my God. Okay, first, I would like to apologize for any sort of insensitive comment that I made about the crime scene and placed in a trailer on. I did not know we were going down this route.
I was not prepared to be here.
So I do apologize for that.
We didn't read this before, clearly.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
That was dark.
Christina, that was dark.
Where was that at? She didn't say.
No, it was not said where this was. I'm sick.
I think that your grandfather... he's a spiritual man. And I think that he knew even going, the second he stepped on that property, that this wasn't going to go away unless he took it with him. And
that's why he laid there. He listened to the earth. He knew the whole story before it even happened.
Yeah.
Don't
think of it as you might have killed your grandfather. Think of it as the sacrifice that your grandfather made
for you
to give you guys a better life in your new home.
That is such a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Number one, I know that our little bitty trauma, laughing, dark humor at the end of being like the 5-finger discount. We love the thing, but for me, for us, this is a lot. It's very, I'm very, very, very just enamored right now by your ability to tell this story and how powerful your grandfather must have been to be able to do what he did. And the Latin that I have Christina, yes, I want more. Yes, I need to know everything about what you found. I want to know what the writings were. I'm so invested in this story. Please, please, please tell us more. This was beyond more than
I was not expecting it at all. It caught me off guard, and it's crazy.
That is, I was not expecting that. Clearly, I promise we didn't read any of these before, so we had no idea.
And the papers that you found that talked about what was before the Latin, before they went to the cabin. The papers that your father found that discuss the land and the teenagers, do you have copies of those?
Right.
I'm being nosy and I kind of need to know.
I want to know what's going on. Wow. I have so many questions. Thank you so much for trusting us with this and sending it in. This is absolutely
but it's very, very much giving KKK land.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. 30s to the 60s. Some awful shit happened there. Teens hung out there.
Not too far back that there wasn't flannels.
Yeah, right.
Lynching.
Yeah.
Fucked up. Dark. It's dark.
Just dark ass shit was going on out there. 100%.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for sharing that.
And shout out Grandpa.
Yeah, your grandpa. Wow, what a selfless man to literally.
And also, shout out your friend. I'm sure he was your imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Because you gave him what I'm sure nobody else ever did.
Yeah.
Love, playtime, conversation.
Yeah, and
there's ice cream in the deep freeze.
Yeah, I like that he was still vibing with you. He probably felt so safe around you.
And I also think that dark knocking that your brother heard, and when he opened the door, that it was your imaginary friend was the first thing he saw. But I think he was your protector.
I feel like he was blocking something else.
Because your grandfather even said he's gone, but there is something dark.
There's something darker.
Something was trying to get into the house, or maybe was already there. Yeah. I don't know. And tormenting you guys, and that was the first thing you saw was the red flannel shirt boy. Yeah. And I feel like that freaked your brother out, but to you, I'm sure it was kind of comforting, being like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it was just my friend there. Yeah. And for him to show himself being there, like
to your brother,
maybe he was blocking, like, don't look in the wood. I need to know what your parents saw, that they were like, don't look in the wood. And this missing time, every time you guys are out there, they're thinking that they're in the cabin saying.
And how is the cabin like coming back?
Yeah,
to
so
life?
Wait, is the cabin torn down, or was the cabin there?
Because they went into a perfectly normal cabin.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
And had a pig head, like that would be rotted.
Inside.
Like,
oh my God. Latin. It looks like ritualistic shit was going on
satanic.
there. Yeah, satanic shit was going on there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sad.
Holy fuck. Dude. That was crazy.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you so much, Christina.
The next one we have is from Cassidy using she, her pronouns, and the title is My Hometown Cult. Also, back up again. I'm so sorry, Cassidy. Another grandfather.
Another grandpa.
It's Grandparents' Day.
Was Grandpa Wilson also nearby with his fucking monkey on the roof?
Literally. Okay, if this one has a grandfather, I'm throwing my phone. It shouldn't. It's a hometown cult.
Here's another thing, though. I feel like we seamlessly
Someone needs a message from this. I don't know who.
Whoever it is, there's a message in here for someone.
It's giving Alzheimer's, grandparents.
It's giving
ladybugs,
hauntings, culty, like, because okay, the land is almost seamlessly pulling in this cult, because the first thing I thought when you're like from the 30s to the 60s, I'm like, so a cult lived out here or something crazy happened?
And now we're in a cult.
Okay.
Cassidy, she, her, my hometown cult. Hello, ladies. My name is Cassidy. You can use this, and my pronouns are she, her. I grew up in a small village located in New Brunswick, Canada, with a population of roughly 800 people, about half of that being members of this cult.
Oh, shit.
The, quote, family worship center, end quote, was originally a pretty standard apostolic church up until the 1960s, when one family in particular began to, quote, take over. The Mickle-up.
That just sounds like a cult starting.
I'm going with Mickle-up.
Yeah.
It's probably not that. That's probably incorrect. The Mickle-up family took the senior pastor position in the church in the 60s and has continued to rule over the cult even today, as it continues to grow and expand. Jim Mickle-up was the first to introduce this new fashion of worship, but things took a turn for the worse, and the organization turned from church to cult when his son, Dana Mickle-up, took over. Dana referred to himself as Big Daddy.
No. Absolutely not.
And they remained in the cult?
Do not.
Because he was the, quote, daddy of everyone that attended. All members were to follow Big Daddy's rules exactly.
I cannot take this motherfucker seriously.
A minimum of 10% of incomes are to go to the church, so a tithing.
Yeah.
With some people having to contribute up to 40%. The more money, the better you are. Women wear long skirts, long sleeves, no makeup or jewelry. Hair must be up and usually cannot be cut. Men also must wear pants or long pants and long sleeves. The children of the church attend Truth Learning Academy. The church's schools where they basically only study the Bible and not other important subjects like math or science.
Oh.
These people are severely brainwashed into believing anything Big Daddy says and that anything else is wrong. What happens if you try to leave? You are completely shunned. The cult has taken over majority of the businesses in the town, so you probably won't be able to work. They may even get you a gravestone and have a full-ass funeral for you. No, I am not kidding.
This is crazy.
Wait, and we said your name. Did she give us permission? Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Today, Big Daddy's son has taken over, and it is his life goal to expand his empire as far and wide as possible. They often go on missions where they recruit vulnerable people from foreign countries, promising them all things good at the church. They even adopt young children from these countries and force them into their cult lifestyle.
How are they getting approved for adoption? What the fuck?
Currently, they are building a second location in my hometown. The new worship center and the current one will be used as an education center and, quote, university, giving members no real reason to leave and have new experiences outside of this town and church. It is crazy. Of course, with all these strict rules, there are tons of allegations regarding killing babies, sexual assault, etc., but I don't want to get into all of that. As a non-member, seeing members of the cult out in public is extremely normal, and they are generally very nice people, which makes the situation even more sad. At this point, it is not a church or religion about the Bible and God. It is a cult, all revolving around money, expanding, and power for that one core family. Sorry this was so long. It could have been a million times longer as I just barely skimmed the surface. If you want to do your own research, just let me know and I can provide the name of the town. I will cover it immediately. Love you, girlies. Cassidy. Cassidy, send it, babe. I want more, and I want to interview. I want Big Daddy on the podcast.
I need to know what Big Daddy's son is called. Like Small Daddy? What's his name?
I need to call him in and say, Big Daddy,
what the fuck is going on?
You clearly are disobeying your own rules because, well, I don't know if they're allowed to have social media or not, but it's giving very
Keep
Amish.
Sweet. Yeah.
And it's giving very, I don't want to say Mormon as a whole, FLDS or LDS, like whichever
extremist.
One. Extremist. Yeah. A lot of the times, like, you're limited to the internet.
Yeah.
In both cases.
Yeah.
And I just need to know where you picked the trending Big Daddy from.
What in the hell is going on? What in the fuck? Is there a documentary on them or yet? If not, Cassidy, you need to get on there and become an executive producer right now. You need to reach out to someone. Oh my God.
Thanks for sharing. A bold move, Cotton.
Yeah. I don't feel like they can listen to this though.
Yeah, for some reason I feel like they're turned, obviously they're shut off from the rest of the world.
And they're in this like little town and only operating within this little town, so they have to be shut off in some way.
Yeah.
We're gonna look into it more. I need to know more.
Send us the name.
Send us everything that you have. Thank you so much. The last creepy account we have is from Christine using she, her pronouns. Hi, ladies. I love the podcast and really enjoy listening to you both. I love creepy and crimey equally, so this is the perfect podcast for me. I came across Taylar on TikTok one day and decided to give the podcast a try and have been addicted ever since. Fun fact, I share the same birthday with Taylar, so I love to celebrate the entire month of June too.
Happy belated.
God, well, happy birthday, Christine. I have just celebrated our birthdays many more times than you. I won't mention how many more. I may be one of your oldest listeners. Oh, I love that. I have always been very spiritual, and there was a time when I spent a lot of time working on that part of me. I have been to a medium multiple times before and have been told that I have the same extra spiritual senses and openness, and was asked if I wanted to go to some classes to enhance my potential gifts that I have. But life got in the way and I never quite got a chance to work on that. But during the peak of my spiritual journey, I did have some interesting things happen. I began having sleep paralysis every so often. The first time I was freaked out, but I was never really scared. I didn't feel any dark entities or anything like that. I just breathed through it and prayed. But a few times were different. I would wake up with sleep paralysis after having what I thought was a very vivid dream. The first time I had dreamt that I was in a room of one of my cousins that was living across the country in New York. I'm in California. In my dream, I was looking down at her from a very high vantage point. She was sitting on her bed and she was very upset and crying. I could feel her pain. I am an empath. I woke up suddenly and I couldn't move. I did some breathing and praying, and I was fine after a few minutes. I called my cousin immediately because I felt like there was something wrong. She didn't answer. But the next day she called me back and she told me that she was crying over something at that time the day before. I thought this was interesting. My cousin and I have always had a strong bond. Just a few weeks later, I had another vivid dream, this time about my uncle. In my dream, I was looking down at him from a higher vantage point again. He was in the hospital and a doctor was talking to him. I could see the doctor showing my uncle something on a chart or something, but I am not in the medical field, so I didn't know what it meant. Again, I was looking down as this happened, and again, I woke up and I couldn't move. I breathed through it and prayed, and that same afternoon, I went to my parents' house for lunch, and I asked my mom if she had spoken to her brother recently, and she said no. I told her about my dream, and she immediately got up from the table and called my brother. My mom knows me. She knows that I have some kind of sixth sense, so she acted immediately. No one answered at my uncle's house. She called a few times and left some messages. Fast forward to the next day, I'm at work and someone tells me that my dad is on the phone for me. I don't know about y'all, but my dad doesn't ever call me, and he never called me at work ever. So I was freaked out. I answered the phone and my dad said, "Don't ever fucking dream about me."
Holy shit.
I was so confused. I said, "What? What's going on?" He repeats, "Don't ever fucking dream about me. Your mom is on the way to the hospital. Your cousin called and your uncle went to the hospital yesterday. He's in bad shape. Don't ever fucking dream about me." He then literally hung up. Dads are crazy.
No, they do be doing
Dads are fucking crazy. My dad doesn't believe in anything that he doesn't understand. He thinks supernatural or spiritual stuff is just bullshit. But he did feel the need to call me to tell me that to never dream about him. I have an incredible bond with my family, particularly the women in my family. My dad always calls us a coven. We are not witches. We are very close and we are all very spiritual. I think that I was able to astral project while I was sleeping. I was about to say that at the end. The reason I have some sleep paralysis when I wake up is because my body sometimes wakes up before I am back in my body. I just have to wait it out. I eventually make it back in. Since childhood, I have always had dreams about flying through the air and visiting people at night. I may have been doing this for a really long time. These times in particular stood out because there was emotion and meaning behind them. One last cool thing is, I think my daughter is doing it too.
Oh, dope.
She's 6 and she's going to sleep over at grandma's house, which she does all the time. I told her that I was going to miss her and she said, "Don't worry, mommy. When I go to sleep, my ghost will fly over and visit you while you are sleeping." My mouth fell open and I asked her if her quote unquote ghost had done this before. She just very nonchalantly said that sometimes her ghost flies around while she is sleeping and she has special powers. I asked her if she was scared and she said no. This is not something that I have ever talked to her about, so the fact that she described it like that is all her. I thought that was pretty cool. I will have to prepare her for the potential for her ghost to not make it back before her body wakes up so she doesn't freak out that she can't move. And I hope that she and I can go on astral projection trips together one of these nights, and I hope you enjoyed my story. I have some creepy stories about the place that I worked at that was built where a hospital used to be. Lots of ghosts there. Let me know if you want me to send those in. Keep being creepy and crimey, Christine.
Okay, yes, send them in, Christine.
Send
but
those
also,
in.
how fucking funny would it be, like, say your daughter is like 16 and she like just got in trouble and she's like, I'm so mad at you, and like goes and like, shuts the door, like slams the door, goes to bed, doesn't want to talk to you, refuses to come down and eat dinner. Not that that's funny, but you know what I mean. They're teenagers, and all of a sudden she's sleeping and she's like, "Fuck, I'm just gonna go fly around. Like I can finally escape." And you are you're flying outside of her bedroom window and she's like ready to escape and you're like, "Get back in the room."
You're like, imagine she's grounded like, even in the astral world. That is grounded, iconic.
No, but that's so sweet that she's so little too.
Wait, that's so crazy that she's literally like, "Oh yeah, my ghost comes and visits you.
Yeah, don't worry, mom, I'll just come see you tonight."
Like it was so like normal. I'll be there. My ghost will be there. My ghost.
That is cool. Like this, that's amazing to me that like that could be passed down genetically.
Yeah.
I know like spiritualism can, but I feel like astral projection, it's not something totally different, but it's something that a lot of people, even like your most intense spiritualists, have to practice and practice and practice.
Get master.
But like for you and for her, it just
natural.
Like that's
like where your spiritual abilities are like at their peak. And I wonder why. Like I wonder, did your mom do it? Did your sisters do this? Like what is the tea with this? Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Send in the other stories. Tell us the backstory of like if anybody else in your family could do this. That is crazy. I love that your dad's like, "Don't ever fucking dream about me." Such a classic dad. But thank you so much for sending that in. Thank you so much to everyone that sent in their stories today. Again, if you would like to send in one of your own, you can send it to creepsandcrimes.ca@gmail.com. I don't necessarily have a request.
Yeah, well, clearly this month was grandparents.
Grandparents and cults.
There's that, and cults. I could hear some more cults.
I could hear some more cults. I could hear some more astral projection stories.
Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Love this.
So we're going to carry this on over to Patreon.
Yep.
So if you want to join that, the link is...
pop over there. It's patreon.com/creeps and crimes. It'll be Patreon episode 67.
It'll be released right now.
The same time that you're listening to this. And
but before we go, speaking on dreams, hit them with
it. Here is what our homework is. Me and Morgan are going. I know it's fucking dream work. Okay.
Dream work. I hate the word homework. Fuck that word.
Okay, so
should be illegal. Burn.
I was listening to, and that's why we drink. Duh. What else am I doing? Their most recent episode that came out this week. Not their listener story, but the like classic episode that came out this week. And in it, Christine was talking about how she kind of learns more with her dreams and controls her dreams. And me and Christine and Morgan, when she came on Spirals with us, which by the way, you can watch on YouTube now.
YouTube publicly.
Go check it out. It's on the So Unserious playlist. But we talked a lot about like how Christine works really hard in her dream world. Like she can lucid dream. Mm-hmm. She's astral projected. She's got like she really practices hardcore with that. And me and Morgan were actually talking about this before we even got on mic, or maybe it was still on Piping Hot Goss, but we talked about like how me and Morgan used to be able to do this a lot more, and we were like spiritually together in a lot of shit, especially when we lived together. And in their episode, Em and Christine were talking about how they're going to meet each other at a shared location in their dreams, and like how in order to kind of control your dreams, the first step to it is logging them and like putting where you're at, describing the location, who was there, what happened, and then comparing them later on. So, and also the most important part is setting the intention that you're going to have a dream tonight, and then that you're going to remember the dream, and then when you wake up you write it down. So I had a crazy dream last night, like the most vivid dreams that I've had in a really long time. I texted in the Morgan the second that I woke up, and I am now wanting to challenge Morgan for this week that we're going to do a dream journal where we log.
But we're not going to tell each other.
No, we're not going to tell each other until next week on the intro of the podcast, or maybe even the outro. We'll see. We might even have to do a whole nother fucking episode for it. We'll see where we get with it. And we're going to compare each other's dreams, see if we've crossed paths in any of the dreams, not talking about it all week until we get back on the podcast to record. And then when we go through it, if we find any things, whatever, the next step that we're going to do in this exercise is we're going to set a place where we're going to meet. And if it doesn't work, if we don't have any dreams next week or for whatever reason, then we're going to do it again until we get like a good amount of logs about where we are and what we're experiencing. We're going to set a time and a place and a setting, and we're going to leave each other a little message, and we're going to see if the other one picks it up. So thanks, Em and Christine,
baby,
for giving us this idea.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Shout out to them on That's Why We Drink. You guys know we love them. We're obsessed with them. But anyways, if you guys want to join in this journey with us, please do it. What you're going to do is you're going to get a friend, or do it with us. We'll be your friend. And you're going to write down every night, you know, set your intention before you go to bed. I'm going to have a dream. I'm going to remember it. I'm going to write it down.
Now, if y'all start coming in and harassing me in my dreams, though, then we're going to have a problem.
Don't come in our dreams. Just be in your dreams right now. But we'll cross over in a few weeks, and maybe we can even try it once we try with
a live show via Dream World.
Oh my God, we do a live show via Dream World. Oh, I can't even talk today. So also what we could do is once me and you practice, and if we set something somewhere and in the dream and we log it or whatever and it works, which me and Morgan both have, like, I know it can happen. We've done it before. We could do it again. Maybe what we could do is we could tell you guys where to meet us, and we'll leave you guys a special sign, and we'll tell you what it is in a week from now, and you guys can see if you saw it in the dream.
It'll be a test.
First we're going to try with us, and then we'll try with everybody in the world. All right. Love you guys. See you next week, or head over to Patreon to listen to part 2. Love you. Bye.